Well, here I am again, by myself this morning, and I think Emily, my daughter, is bringing Jack over. Jack's elder sister is bringing Jack over later on this afternoon, as far as I'm aware. But for now, I'm here by myself. I've had a little bit of a tidy up, and I'm going to be working on cleaning up the transom today. So you saw 2 episodes ago we put the new transom in, but there's a lot of work to do back there still. And then last week Melissa pulled down all of the timber in the pilot house so that we can start working on some of the rust spots and stuff on the inside of the pilot house and take the hatches out and replace all that stuff. So that's the lowdown of what Melissa did last week. What I'm doing today is getting this all apart again. We've just got the seats back in place so that nobody falls down the hole, and I'm going to be stuck under the tarp, cutting and grinding off the remnants of the old gas locker. There's still some bits there, and cutting out any other bits of steel that we're going to need to replace. Unfortunately, tomorrow looks like it's going to be predicted for some pretty awful weather. I don't think it's going to rain, but it's looking like sort of 60-70 mile an hour wind tomorrow, so there might be a limit to how much I get done tomorrow, but we'll see. For now, let's get stuck on with that transom, eh? So step 1 is to remove the remaining bits of this gas locker that are welded to the transom. I'm going to try and tidy those up. I might actually remove the whole thing, because these verticals actually ironically provide a little bit of extra structural support for that, so that's no bad thing, but we'll see how we get on with that. Once I've done that, I'm going to start getting rid of all of this mank and rubbish on the inner transom to see how bad this corrosion is, and to see if any of this, I've got a feeling we're going to need a couple of small patches here, but nothing. That was just the seat falling off the side, but nothing like the patch that we put in there. I've got to finish going over the welding on that as well at some point. So yeah, onwards and upwards. Let's get this off. Let's get this cleaned up first. Just got to get some power from the grinder. Well, this is a horrible, messy job. As you can see, I'm under the tarp. It's dirty and it's disgusting and it's dusty. You'll be pleased to know I am wearing full PPE for this. Let me just show you where I'm up to. I've trimmed out substantial bits more of that locker, and I'm working my way across from the starboard side to the port side. So that area now is all cleaned up. None of that corrosion is anything more than surface pitting, but it looked like that before I started. I think that piece down there might be a little bit might have gone through, but that's a small patch if I need to do it, but it might not even be that bad. Where it seems to have gone is right along the bottom of the transom, where the transom joins the floor, if you like, the hull itself. Because as we know, the sugar scoop bathing platform, swim platform, or whatever you want to call it, that was added on several years after the original build. When they added it on, they only painted over the welds in zinc red oxide, which is an okay paint, but it's not that stood the test of time for this long. So that's why it's rotted along those welds. So I'm going to need to put a strip along the bottom of the transom and a strip along the actual obviously the hull itself, as we know. But I'm just cleaning up the whole of the inside of the transom, and as you can hear, the kettle's boiling, so I'm going to have a break. I've had my tea. I've had a cup of tea and a biscuit. Back to work now. Well, as you can see, I've taken the tarp off temporarily because I need to have a bit of a clean up. I need some light to do that, but I've stopped making dust. That part of the transom is all cleaned up. That part of the transom is all cleaned up. And we've got 1, 2, 3 little patches that I'm going to need to put in. And there's another little piece down there. I haven't done that side yet because that there is the exhaust elbow. It's like the anti-siphon for the exhaust. So I'm struggling to get that off at the moment. But once I've got that off, I'll be able to clean up round it, or if I can't get it off, it doesn't really matter. I'll just clean up behind it with the, you know, I've got other tools that can get in behind that. So I'm going to have to stop for a little bit, have a little bit of a clean up. But yeah, progress, getting there. Next thing is, after cleaning up, is start cutting out the bits that I'm going to need to replace. Well, it's the end of one day. We're carrying on tomorrow. Jack's arrived. Say hello, Jack.
Hi.
Jack's just watching Star Trek. Let me show you quickly what I've done. Oh, hang on, I'll open the hatch, one sec. So I've got the tarp back up, obviously, because we're making a lot of dust and stuff, and tomorrow's meant to be pretty nasty. This is just a bit of temporary framework just to hold the hatch up, so I'm expecting a bit of rain and wind tomorrow, so I'm not sure how much we're going to get done. The transom's all cleaned up, and then weather permitting tomorrow, I'll be down there cutting out some of that old steel, but it all depends on how bad the weather is. If nothing else, I can clean out all the mess that I made today. And if the weather is bad tomorrow and I'm not able to work out there at all, then I'll find something else to do. And as we've said all the way through with this this little project, being in the UK, particularly being in the north of the UK or North Wales, the weather isn't great, and you have to just do what you can do, weather permitting. It's a bit like sailing, really. So yeah, see you tomorrow morning. Well, as I said yesterday, today isn't a day for doing any work. It's blowing an absolute gale up here. In fact, I'm going to post the weather forecast on the screen right now. So there you go. Come and have a look outside. I'm not even going out the back. The tarpaulin's on, but have a look at this. Oh God, it's grim. So we're predicted 50 knots later. There is no chance at all of doing any welding. There's no chance at all of doing any welding or making. That's horrible. I'm going back in today. It's a day to sit inside with Jack, eat chocolate and watch films. It's a day for sitting inside and eating chocolate and watching films, isn't it, Jack?
Yes, I'm playing on Nintendo Switch.
Playing on the Nintendo Switch. Emily, Jack's sister, bought him a Nintendo Switch. How cool is that?
Also, there's a couple of days.
But you are limited on the amount of time we allow you to spend on your Nintendo, aren't you? You're not allowed to spend too much time on it. It's a great thing to have for a bit of fun, but you're not going to become hooked on looking at a screen all the time. You like your books too much, don't you?
So Andy's just cleaning up from grinding the other day, which created obviously a lot of dust. We had the tarp over.
Yeah, so there was another dustpan and brush, but I accidentally broke it.
Yeah.
Manual way then.
One patch out, just a couple more little places to pull out.
You're going to round the corners off after.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I'm going to round the corners off so we haven't got square corners. That can come later.
Where's the next bit that you're taking out?
Not sure yet. Need to test the thickness of these bits. But that piece definitely, but maybe these bits. Four point 4.14, 4.08, 4.09, 3.2, which is still fine. It's an area that I can actually fill that with a bit of welding wire. And 3.96.
Okay. A lot better than we thought.
4.12. So this one doesn't read through paint like the one we borrowed, but even this area that looks quite bad, which I've marked out as potentially needing to be cut out, it's slightly less than 4 mil. It's 3.5 mil. I can fill that with a bit of welding wire to beef it back out. But the whole of the rest of the deck, the superstructure and everything else, the coat roof, is all 3 mil anyway. So I'm still thicker than the rest of the boat. So I'm really not that worried.
What about the bit on the left? That
this bit down here?
No.
That's fine.
No. Up, down, left. Did you check that bit?
Yeah. 3.6.
Okay. So we were just having a debate whether we needed to cut that whole section.
3.5.
Oh. Sorry about the noise of the tarp. We were just having a discussion about whether we should cut out that whole bit
here, or whether we should cut out these little bits, or whether they needed doing at all. And having checked it with the ultrasonic, they don't need doing. I'm happy to treat them, fill them with a bit of welding wire perhaps, and fine. I'm perfectly happy with that.
Yeah.
We're using this, has Melissa have you already spoken about this? No. This thing is called a Terracu. Oh, go on. So we're using this thing, Terracu, which is basically like a rubber pad. It's got hardened steel tips. And it's absolutely brilliant for not just removing surface rust, paint, remnants, but also for keying the surface to a good surface. I look like Tom Sawyer, don't I, with these breeches on, but you get an absolutely beautiful surface for spraying and painting onto. If you look at this, the surface of the steel, I don't know if it comes out really well on the camera, but that surface there, that is spot on for painting. So I've just got to carry on prepping the rest of the inside of the transom. We're not going to weld these patches in today, but what I am going to do is paint it so that we've got all of that metal is now protected, albeit with a couple of patches. And yes, I know when I come to weld those in, it's going to burn off the paint and we'll have to repaint over it, but it means that that transom is now, we've assessed it, we've cut out the bits that need cutting out, we've prepped it, we've painted it, and then we can weld in the new patches on a day when it's better for welding. You can't MIG weld in weather like this, it's just blowing an absolute gale. So So that's hopefully by the end of today we'll have accomplished that mission. If we haven't, we haven't. Sometimes we run out of time, but I'm going to finish my tea and then carry on as quickly as I can.
I'm not sure if you can hear me, but while Andy's out there making off the noise, I'm in here just taking off the rest of those port sides from the pilot house. Stubborn things. So they're coming up slowly but surely.
So I'm just using acetone to clean all this up to get it ready to paint.
The acetone smells weirdly familiar of something.
It smells like nail polish remover.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Well, that's what they use.
Ah.
I have no idea.
It's been a productive day.
Yes, we have come together on these momentous of occasions to say bye-bye to you all. Not forever, just the end of the episode. It's only the end of the episode, don't worry. That's done. We're tired. We're going home.
Yeah.
I want dinner.
I've got something in my eye. It's only a speck of dust, but it's really annoying me.
Well, we'd just like to say thank you to everyone for their support, especially our patrons. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate everything.
Yeah.
But we're happy that we have a white
We have
inside of a transom.
We have a white
There's
transom.
Still some work to do on it, but it's not getting any
Yeah.
worse now.
No, it's fine. It's all good.
At least you cut out that massive rust spot.
But yeah, thanks very much to all of our patrons, to everybody who follows us and,
Yeah.
and comments and subscribes and likes. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you do. And if you've already subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell. We always forget to tell people that, but if you're a subscriber and you haven't hit the little bell icon, then it doesn't tell you when we release a new episode. So make sure you hit that, because then you'll know.
And if you like the video, click like. If you hate the video, click dislike. It
Yeah.
still helps us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Go on.
Anyway, I would prefer if you didn't dislike this video.
Yeah, I mean, a like is always better than a dislike, but
It is.
you know, every little helps.
Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope
Thank
you enjoyed the
you.
episode. Bye for now.
See you next week.
Bye.
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 I want food.